Okay, so now that you understand what the criteria of a winning product are, let's talk about the 4 types of winning products. Now, there are winning products in every single niche. However, not all winners are the same, and they can be categorized into such: untapped products, seasonal products, old products, and fresh products. The timing and the competition is the fundamental difference between these 4 types. Now, understanding how timing and competition impacts the performance of a product, you'll be able to look at a product and be able to tell, okay, this product is way too saturated, this product is way too competitive, it's not a good time, I'm too late to this product. So you're going to have a little bit more of a tailored eye when it comes to these products, and ultimately allow you to test only test-worthy products and just forget about the non-test-worthy products. Now, in this presentation, we're going to go over each of these 4 types of winning products. We're going to go over what they actually entail. We're going to go over advantages and disadvantages. And in the next lessons, we're actually going to be going over each of these in depth. So let's go on with this lesson. Let's continue. Now, the first type of product, which is the untapped product. It sounds exactly what it sounds like. Products that are virtually undiscovered and yet to be scaled. Because these products haven't been proven to perform, you would be pioneering the product into the marketplace, aka Facebook ads or maybe Google ads, into the marketplace based on your own judgment, intuition, and product analysis. These products have little to no competition, which makes them have the highest payoff potential, yet they are also the hardest to find, and they are unpredictable because you don't have much data to be relying on. So let's go over the advantages and disadvantages. Some of the advantages include the opportunity, a massive opportunity for going viral. You can think of it as in being the first person to introduce the fidget spinner to the marketplace. If you were that person, you would go insanely viral. You would be that pioneer to introducing that product into the marketplace. You would also have more or less the entire market to yourself for a decent amount of time. And this brings me on to the third point. You have a good enough time to scale to a high magnitude before your competition starts showing up. After your advertisement scales to several millions of views, then that is when your competition will most likely notice and start to actually take a piece of the pie. Now, some disadvantages is that these products have never been validated before, so they're less predictable and more quote-unquote risky. This brings me to my second point, which is that there is not much data or competition to bounce off of. So with other winning products, you typically have that benefit of seeing previous advertisers and their product pages and their marketing angles. You can basically bounce off of proven performance. But with untapped products, you don't have that leverage. You don't really have the ability to see the marketing angles for this product before. You would essentially have to pioneer all of those things and come up with a fresh angle, come up with a fresh advertisement. And untapped products might not even have great footage for you to work with. However, that's not the case with it all, and the advantages definitely outweigh the disadvantages. Moving on to our second type of product, which is the fresh products. Now, fresh products, they are also what they sound like. They are trending products that are currently being scaled right now at this current moment. So the idea here is to ride the wave of a winner before it gets too saturated. Many of these products are easy to get sales with, however, they do have limits of scalability simply because of the competition. Some advantages and disadvantages include they are more budget friendly since they're already validated and more predictable of getting sales. So unlike with untapped products, if you have a very limited budget, it's very hard to predict the success of an untapped product. But selling a product that's already currently selling is quote-unquote easier and more predictable of getting sales, which is why it is more budget friendly. Similarly, it's also the easiest and fastest to find. Simply because there are so many research tools, including your own Facebook newsfeed, it's not very difficult to find current winning products. And it's also easy to capture some of the existing demand of a trending product. You can think of it like this. You're essentially selling a product that people are already buying right now at this current moment. Whereas, for example, untapped products, nobody is really actively buying that product and it doesn't have a current demand. So with fresh products, they already have that demand. You already have that leverage. So it's quote unquote easier to sell a product that already has that demand. Now let's talk about our disadvantages. These products are definitely more competitive simply because if you saw this on your newsfeed, you can be sure that a lot of other dropshippers have also seen that on their newsfeed and they are also thinking about testing it, which is also why these products are not always scalable and it typically doesn't last as long as untapped products, for example. Which brings me to my next point, which is that it's very time sensitive. So if you saw a winning advertisement on your newsfeed that was launched last Thursday, every single day that goes by is more and more dropshippers being exposed to that product, more and more potential competition. So that is why it's very time sensitive, and that is also why it typically doesn't last as long as untapped products. I've had a lot of fresh products that lasted either 2 weeks, some 4 weeks, some even 6 weeks, so it definitely has a varying range. Moving on to the seasonal products. Seasonal products are products that perform well only in certain times of the year. So seasonal doesn't necessarily refer to just the 4 seasons, but more generally the timing and the relevance of the product. So the timing includes seasons, holidays, cultural events, consumer trends, news, media, political events, anything that is significant and that might have an effect or influence on consumer behavior. So some advantages include that it has a very good opportunity to capitalize on the increased demand for certain items. If Halloween time is approaching, you would expect that the demand for Halloween costumes and related items would be skyrocketing. So that's why it's a good opportunity to capitalize on these types of products. Another advantage is that these buyers have more of an incentive or reason to buy a seasonal product. So let's say Mother's Day is approaching, people would have more of an incentive to purchase some flowers or teddy bear or some sort of gift because they have the reasoning of Mother's Day approaching. And then also you can market this incentive or reason. So for example, let's say you're taking in a product that's not necessarily Mother's Day related. Let's just say a candle. A candle doesn't innately have anything to do with Mother's Day or even mothers, as a matter of fact. Anybody could buy or benefit from a candle. So consumers typically might not have a strong incentive to buy a candle. However, if Mother's Day is approaching and you were to present an advertisement for a candle with a marketing angle of Mother's Day is coming, all mothers love this candle, surprise your mother with the scent of rosemary. That is an example of how you can incentivize a certain product during a seasonal time of the year. Some disadvantages include that you're going to experience increased advertising costs from dropshippers and also non-dropshippers included. So the Halloween time is coming up. You can expect a lot of dropshippers to be selling their Halloween items, as well as non-dropshipping companies that are also selling their Halloween items. And this also brings me to the next point, which is that you're going to experience increased competition for certain items. So if Mother's Day is coming up and you're trying to sell a rose, you can expect a lot of other competitors trying to sell a very similar looking rose. This is why it's in your best advantage to be creative and look at other products that aren't necessarily saturated and create a marketing angle incentivizing them to buy it for a certain holiday. Here are some examples of seasonal products. I didn't include examples for the other past two products simply because they're very relative. So we're going to go over more examples in the next lessons. However, these are just three brief examples of seasonal products. We have the portable air conditioner on the left. Basically, this product is very relevant during the hot summer times. Then we have the product in the middle, which you might not be able to tell is basically a device you can use to open doors and also push buttons like elevator buttons, and this product is very relevant during the coronavirus pandemic. So this product more or less is only important during the coronavirus pandemic. And the last example is quite obvious. This product would be appropriate during Mother's Day or even her birthday. Now let's talk about our fourth type of product, which is the old product. Now old products are products that I consider to be previous winners from 8 or more months ago that have not also been recently scaled. Now if the product was recently scaled within the past 1 to 3 months, then it no longer qualifies as being an old winner. The older the product hasn't been advertised in the marketplace, the better. Now the idea here is to reintroduce these old winners that have been forgotten about. So you're essentially pioneering the once had demand of a product that is essentially had been forgotten about. Some advantages include that these old products are easy to find. You have hundreds of products that are exposed with various research methods, and you have a lot of existing data from previously run winning advertisements. Advantage number 2 is that you have a good opportunity to capitalize on old winners by improved marketing. So let's say if you see a product that performed very well a couple years ago, you see the previously run existing advertisements of this product, and you think to yourself, how can I improve the marketing of this product? Some disadvantages is that some of these products have already lost their flair and really can't be reignited. So for example, the fidget spinner, even though these products are very old, it's going to be very hard to reintroduce it because most people are familiar with the fidget spinner and it's already lost its hype, it's already lost its flair. This is also the reason why these products are not always predictable. You can have a product that qualifies as an old product. It was hot maybe 8 months ago and hasn't recently been scaled. It's not always predictable that you can just reintroduce this product and reignite that flair that it once had. So old products are typically hit or miss, but you can increase your chances of them being a winner by combining maybe the seasonality of an old product. So let's say, for example, we have a portable air conditioner. That is also an old product from 8 or more months ago. So if you were to try to advertise this old air conditioner during the hot summertime, then you're also benefiting from the product being a seasonal product as well as an old product. That is actually what I did last year, which we'll be discussing in another lesson. Here are some examples of some old products. On the left here we have this food grinder. I've seen this product time and time again. In the middle we have this portable USB blender, I'm sure you guys know of. And then on the right here we have this product called the Magic Mop. These products have been reintroduced several times. So these are just examples. These aren't products that I necessarily suggest to test. And that is it with the presentation. Like I said, we'll be going over each of these 4 types of products, and we're actually going to be covering product research methods on how you can find each of these products. So stay tuned. So those are the 4 types of products, and they all have their own advantages and disadvantages. So you should diversify and try attempting all of them, as opposed to just single-handedly choosing one or another Try tempting all of them. I always try to find winning products of every single type, and I recommend you do the same. For example, you could swap up some of the product research methods that we're about to cover, that way you can find multiple products for each type. Some of these methods include AliExpress itself, ad spying or product spying tools, competitor spying, and more. So we'll be covering that in the next lessons.